Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. Today we are talking about
CaseyNeistat. CaseyNeistat.
CaseyNeistat. That is right. The YouTube blogger Blue decided to post a video about who he was voting for president. And it's not that he posted this, it's things he says and does during it. So let's go ahead and play his video. It's 2 minutes long, and let's get to this.
Hillary Clinton. I will be voting for Hillary Clinton.
Congratulations, I guess.
I avoid talking politics on this channel, on this forum, because politics are divisive.
Yes, and you're not very good at it, apparently. Oh, that's such a great look.
Always two sides, Republicans and Democrats.
Actually, there's a lot more than two sides, but this is why you're part of the problem. CaseyNeistat.
There's left and there's right. I can have...
Yes, there's left and right. There's also up and down, so... Your point is, there's a lot of people that right around the middle, and there's a lot of people that are far left and far right.
My opinion, and there will always be an opposing one.
Yes, that's how life is. That's the way opinions work.
Is the nature of a healthy democracy. But this is not that. This is about a megalomaniac who's driven by nothing but ego.
Yeah, so why are you voting for her?
A man who cares exactly zero about the people of this country.
You mean a woman?
A person who brags about sexually assaulting women and shames others for the way they
That would be her husband.
look. I'm speaking up now because this election has very little to do with politics, policy, or legislation.
No, I think it has a good bit to do with all that. But you've just shoved your head so far up your own ass, you've become blind to it.
This has to do with morals and principles.
If it has to do with morals and principles, then why in the hell are you backing Hillary Clinton? She has no morals or principles except to look out for herself. She is a liar from day one. She has defended a rapist of a child. She has protected her husband from rape and sexual molestation charges and sexual misconduct charges. Somehow they scapegoated out of a real estate scheme that, if I'm not mistaken, his brother wasn't so lucky and got nailed for. Let's see, there's countless scandals, and just because they didn't press charges doesn't mean they're not guilty, because the FBI came out with evidence to say in her email scandals, for example, that she did do this stuff, and we know other people have been put in jail/prison for such things.
I'm voting for Hillary because, make no mistake, there is only one person that can defeat him.
Yeah, see there, you're part of the fucking problem. You are looking at this as the one person who can fucking defeat him. No, it's not about defeating your opponent. If your opponent wins or loses, that's part of the game. You are violating your own moral and ethical guideline to vote for some scumbag because you don't like the scumbag standing next to her. What kind of bullshit is that? You don't have two choices. You actually have 5? You got Trump, Hillary, Gary, Jill, and some other dude are going to be the ones on the main ballot. If you don't want to vote for Hillary, fine. If you're a Bernie supporter, why in the fuck would you ever vote for Hillary? That's like shoving your head up the asshole of a cow to see if it's got a good steak inside. Why wouldn't you vote for Jill or Gary? They could both be a good substitute. If you don't like Trump, why not vote for Gary? I'm not advocating Gary. I have issues with some of the stuff he stands at. I have problems with everything just about that Hillary stands for. And I have issue with stuff that Trump says. And has said in the way he's asked. Yes, he's a braggart. So what?
One person that can keep him away from power, and it is her. I'm not a huge fan of her stale politics. I'm entirely aware of all the criticism against her.
Yes, that criticism alone should be enough for you not to vote for her, period.
I'm aware of all of her failures and shortcomings.
Yes, she has a lot of failures and a lot of shortcomings. Why aren't you voting for Jill Stein then? She would be a lot closer to what people on the left believe. And if she got enough votes, she could take out Trump. But you have your head so far up your ass into this two-party system that you say we have, but we don't. Because you're making this, it's choose A or B. No. People need to start voting with their hearts, with their conscience, with their morals. If a politician violates your morals, why vote for them? If I can look at a politician and go, well, you don't do A, B, C, or D, I'm not going to vote for you. If I look at a politician, well, you don't do A, and that's not that big of an issue with me, but you're right on B, C, D, and E, then why not vote for him? Why go with a bad horse?
But she's intelligent, and she knows.
I wouldn't call her exactly intelligent, but she does know the law enough and has enough advisors to... Back in the day, when Clinton was president, I used to call him the Teflon Man. Because everything they threw at him, nothing would stick. Even when they impeached him for lying under oath, if you asked people what he was impeached for, they would say for having sex in the White House. And it wasn't that he had sex in the White House. It was that he lied under oath about having sex in the White House, which is why he is disbarred as a lawyer. And you got to remember, him and Hillary are lawyers. Who are the best liars in the business? Lawyers. You say you want to change the status quo, then why are you voting the status quo in?
She knows what she's doing. More importantly,
and she doesn't know what she's doing. Benghazi, getting people killed, is a prime example. She was told, hey, we need fundings. Hey, there's shit going on. Hey. Yet, she decided to spend the money on green shit. Oh, we're going to get rechargeable cars. No, these guys need protection, but we're going to get rechargeable cars for these guys over here. Yeah, that's knowing what the hell you're doing.
She's mentally sound. She's responsible.
Responsible for what? For lying? For being untruthful? Yeah. Her and Trump both lie. But Trump hasn't got anybody killed by his lies yet.
And she's sane.
No, she is... I would not call her very sane for her belief system.
I want to end this by calling out all the big YouTubers.
Oh, I got to call out all the big YouTubers. Well, you know what? From here on, he just spouts bullshit. Now, Casey, pull your fucking head out of your ass for a minute. I'm going to read something from a person that is far more articulate than I am. And we got it right up here. It's this guy here called Micro. Micro was recently asked about getting people to vote. And yeah. And this was his response here. I'm going to read this to you guys. I share your concern for our country. I agree wholeheartedly that every vote counts. However, I'm afraid I can't encourage millions of people whom I've never met just to run out and cast a ballot simply because they have the right to vote. That would be like encouraging everyone to buy an AR-15 simply because they have the right to bear arms. I wouldn't need to know the few things about them before offering that kind of encouragement. For instance, do they know how to care for the weapon? Can they afford the cost of the weapon? Do they have the history of violence? Are they mentally stable? In short, are they responsible citizens? Now, at this point right here, I am going to add one thing. If you ever listen to Rush Limbaugh, who is a pompous ass, but tends to be right, he uses a term, he's coined a term that calls the uninformed voter. And that's because a lot of voters are uninformed. They will vote on emotions and they won't ever fact check anything anybody says. Okay, so now that is what these celebrities and Casey is urging people to do, become uninformed voters. But now let's listen to what Mike Rose says here. Casting a ballot is no different. It is an important right that we all share, and one that impacts our society in a dramatic fashion. But it is one thing to respect and acknowledge our collective rights, and quite another thing to affirmatively encourage people I have never met to exercise them, and yet my friends in Hollywood do that very thing. And they're at it again, which is a point well taken. You wouldn't just hand a gun to just anybody, and they can have the same consequences. Every 4 years, celebrities and movie stars look earnestly into the camera and tell the country to get out and vote. They tell us it's our most important civic duty. And they speak as if the very act of casting a ballot is more important than the outcome of this election. This strikes me as somewhat hysterical. Does anyone actually believe that Leonardo DiCaprio, Ellen DeGeneres, and Ed Norton would encourage the masses to vote if they believed the masses would elect Donald Trump? Casey, what are you doing? You're encouraging people to vote for Hillary, not to vote, not to get informed and make a honest, conscious, moral decision to vote for somebody that they think is more morally in guidelines with the principles of this country. I don't want to say morally righteous, because that's, when you put it that way, you got the atheist nuts that are going to go retarded, and you got different people that are going to go stupid, because morally righteous in and of itself comes from the aspect of your particular culture. So, and yeah, that gets a little shady on exactly how you want to say that. Okay, back to reading. Regardless of their political agenda, my celebrity pals are fundamentally mistaken about our civic duty to vote. There is simply no such thing. Voting is a right, not a duty. And you are not a morally obligated. Like all rights, the rights to vote comes within some responsibilities. With some responsibilities. Why in the hell am I adding extra words? But let's face it, the bar is not set very high. True. If you believe in aliens from another planet walk among us, if you are welcome at the polls. If you believe the world is flat and the moon landing was completely staged, you are invited to cast a ballot. Astrologists, racists, ghost hunters, sexists, and people who rely upon a magic 8-ball to determine their daily wardrobe are all allowed to participate. In fact, and to your point, they're encouraged. So, when a celebrity reminds the country that everybody votes counts, they are absolutely correct. But when they tell us that everybody in the country should get out there and vote regardless of what they think or believe, I gotta wonder, what are they smoking? Remember, there's nothing vicious or patriotic about voting, just for the sake of voting. And next time someone tells you otherwise, do me a favor. Ask them who they're voting for. then tell them you're voting for the opponent and see if they'll give you a ride to the polls. So no, Jeremy, I can't personally encourage everyone in this country to run out and vote. I wouldn't do it, even if I thought it'd be beneficial to my personal choice, because the truth is, the country doesn't need voters who have to be cajoled, enacted, or persuaded to cast a ballot. We need voters who wish to participate in the process. So, Casey, do you understand what he said here? We need voters that are willing to actually get themselves informed. And see, here's part of the problem. Let's scroll right down here. Okay, let's see if it hadn't updated. Oh no, maybe it did, or maybe it was on a different video I've seen this. Well, good thing you're Swedish. Okay, let's see here. I think it may have been on this one, and I kind of like what Wrangler Star has to say here, and I think
I'm voting for Donald Trump. This is a video response to Casey Neistat's video that I just watched, calling all YouTube creators to come out and support of Hillary Clinton. Casey even went so far as to say that any of us who do not support Hillary Clinton are essentially bad people.
And see, that right there is a problem in and of itself. Honestly, not surprising coming from a farm redneck. Yes, dumbass, you do understand that redneck was the original term for farmers. You know, the people that keep your fucking belly full, you moronic retard. But I can't find it. Somewhere, somebody once again was accusing Trump of being a racist and blah, blah, blah. Look, the man, I can't even say if he's sexist or something. He's definitely a pig in the private life. But considering all the things he's done for women, giving them, seriously, lead jobs, like overseeing the construction of a tower, a skyscraper, that enabled the first woman to actually build a skyscraper. Race, oh boy. Can't wait to throw the fucking... See, I wouldn't call Wrangler Star redneck. Might be a little bit of a hillbilly, but he's not a redneck. He's a homesteader. Yeah, rednecks are, yeah. So we're going to end that there before I really get sidetracked and go off on people. But, dear Casey, shut the fuck up. Nobody gives a shit about who you're voting for. And as far as a lot of people are concerned, you have your head directly up your ass as to why you're voting for it. Now let's see, what is his dislike? He's got quite a few dislikes on this video. And you guys keep saying Trump's going to destroy the USA. And yeah, that's another thing. I can't see Trump being any worse than Hillary. Seriously, I can't. And if you ask me who I'm voting for, I have nobody to vote for right now, because I'm definitely not voting for Hillary. I completely disagree with Jill Stein. According to the one place where you put in your, it's a political site to see who you most closely align to, I'm with Trump and Gary, but I disagree with parts of both of them. So I can't rightfully say who I'm going to vote for. And all I can say for you guys is you need to vote your conscience. You need to go and figure out what each person stands for. And the next thing you need to do, which is part of the reason I can't vote for Trump, you need to look at their actions. Because actions speak louder than words. It's also why I definitely cannot vote for Hillary. Because her actions as a human being are horrid. And Donald Trump's are right close behind her. And Gary Johnson, I just don't know that well. There's some political points that are key for me that I disagree with Johnson on. And that's why I would have trouble pulling the lever for him, as they say. So right now it's coming down to the final days before I make my decision. I won't know till I do it. But that's, don't if you don't want to vote, don't vote. That's fine. If we got to stick you in the ass with the cattle prod to get you to vote, then what's the point? But until next time, catch you on the flip side, and just make sure to do your research when you're looking at candidates. Actually take a cold, hard look at who they are, what they've done in their life, how they voted over their voting career, if it's there. Are they actually breaking the law when they did something? Whether or not they were punished for it. Until next time, we will catch you on the flip side. Bye-bye.